family, I'm Genesee.
I'm Alexander.
And we are Black Soil.
And we're here today to tell you that you are perfect.
You
Each
are.
and every one of you, she is, I am, we are all perfect.
Exactly. So you go through life and everyone tells you you're not perfect, your mother isn't perfect, no one in history has been perfect, and no one will be perfect. But is that true?
Absolutely not.
It's not true at all. So we want to talk about self-love and the power of knowing everything that you are, desire to be, is within you, and will get you to every opportunity, everything that you've ever desired in your whole entire life.
The law of attraction states, what you put out, you will receive. And so if you put out perfection, you put out abundance, blessings, light, truth, positivity, that is all you're going to bring back right into yourself.
The first thing I think is really important is to take all the things that you love about yourself and acknowledge those things. Like, what are some of the things that you love about yourself that you try to hide when you were younger?
I would try to hide my financial status. I have never been rich or anything crazy like that, but I would try to play down my middle class family because I thought it was garnering the type of attention that I wanted, and when that's not the case.
Most people think the sum of themselves comes from outside sources like money, status, car, body type, clothes, jobs, careers, whatever. And that's completely not true. And that's where some people, you go through depression, anxiety, all these illnesses, all these problems, issues, false personal idealisms of yourself come into play when you believe that you are what you materialistically produced, and that is not true. You are more than even your body and your skin, even though they play a big part 100%. In the elevation of you personally and people in general. But you are your spirit, your soul, your desires, and that is really important to acknowledge, because most people are very down on themselves because of their skin tone, their hair, their sex, their sexual orientation, all these other things that really do not really make who you are. Your soul, that's the seed of everything that you are. And so when you were growing up and you thought that your socioeconomic status was something, you grew older and you figured out that it was nothing. We meet 100%. Friends and foes from all different statuses, and it makes no difference. It's sometimes it's your soul that brings the value to the table, and not just your dollars.
No, 100%. Your soul is gold. You are gold, you are copper, you are bronze, silver.
You conduct electricity.
You conduct electricity, all these coils, that's exactly what it is. We are much more than our financial status, and that's something that I had to grow into, and many people still do. There's still many people that are 40, 35, 40, 45 years old, still trying to cling on, still trying to get the newest Tundra, the newest Toyota, the newest Ford, whatever it may be, the newest Mustang, thinking that will bring them some type of attention, when that's really what they're missing is their soul.
So what are some of the things that you think that when someone is, for the first time in their lives or in a long time, stepping into their own shoes of who they are individually, on their soul urge, what are some of the steps that you think that will really help someone direct themselves in the journey of becoming their highest self?
Well, actually, I learned this from my queen, everybody. I really did. But when you walk by and you look at a reflection of yourself in glass, in a mirror, anything that's really giving you a reflection, and you can see yourself, and you taught me this, look into it and speak to yourself. Really, when you can see yourself back, speak to yourself. You are powerful. I am powerful. I am blessed. I am magnificent. I am perfect. I am this. I am this. Preach to yourself. Say to yourself, I am this. I am that. I am
affirmations.
This. Affirmations. That's the word. Affirmations. And watch what happens. Really, truly watch what happens. When you sit there, you wake up every day and you put into your mind that you're going to be, today's going to be a good day. It is going to be a good day because you put that, wake up, smile, laugh, say, I am perfect. I am this. I am that. I am that. Say you are everything that you think you are, that you know you are, and watch it all come to truth, come to fruition.
And so in our lives, we all know that no one really appreciates a hoarder. So I think it's really important that while we're improving ourselves, that we figure out on our own pace, what are the things that we need to get rid of? What are some of the traits that we have in our personal behavior, our language, the way we react, that we need to get rid of, some of the people that we need to get rid of. Do we need to get up and move? Do we need to, quit our job? Because it is very important that we realize that our environment plays a huge part in our evolution.
Yes.
And so if we want to be the best of ourselves, we must make sure that we are in the best environment. And one thing I've learned, it seems some things are so easier said than done. But when you decide that I'm going to evolve, I'm going to be the best of myself, the universe, everyone supports you. If there's anything that comes up negative in your life, it's just for you to sit and realize, what is the lesson in this? How am I going to evolve? It's always showing you a reflection of yourself. So when you are taking these steps, when you are letting go of friends, when you are no longer taking disrespect from anyone, don't feel bad about yourself. Don't let anyone tell you that you are a bad person, because you matter more than anyone else. And once you realize that, you will really be on the way to perfection.
It is so important to separate. When you are truly finding yourself and you're sitting here telling yourself you're perfect, you're this, you're that, like my queen was saying, your environment is so important. So one thing I urge all of you to do is to really take a look at your closest friends. You are who you hang out the most with. At the end of the day, that is true. And in my journey, I have found it super beneficial to me and my personal truth that in order to elevate, you need to separate. And even from good friends, I've had to take a step back and just not hang out with them. Even from, people that I truly did like hanging out with, I had to step back. I had to step back and I had to sit here and just sit inside all day, every day, or go to the park by myself, or go to somewhere with my dog and just really talk to myself for almost a year. And for me, for an example, for a whole year I did that. I just kind of stayed to myself. I went back home and I was just by myself. I got a dog and it was just me and my dog all day, every day. But in that year, when I sat there and told myself, I am perfect, I am this, I am that, and I declared myself to the world, this is what I found, this goddess, this queen, this everything, this whole that is propelling me to greatness and to higher lengths. So really, it's important to really separate, because once you separate, you can elevate, and your elevation has no cap.
None whatsoever.
No cap. You can become as powerful, great, rich, abundant, blessed as you want to be. Just put it into your mind, take a step back, and really focus on yourself and watch yourself propel.
Exactly. That was awesome, Kiki.
Thanks.
But the last thing, or another step that I think is really important, is education. So we grow up learning everything about the world. We learn about religions and the galaxy, art and fashion and everything that was and has been and what we think will continue in the future. But when do we sit and really learn about ourselves, honestly? Do we have to pay some doctor to
sit on his couch
and ask us questions? Do we need to do that? Some people may need to do that. No judgment at all. But the more you self-educate yourself about who you are, about your roots, your ancestors, and what your soul urges, what you really feel, what you really believe, what you really desire, what you really respect, what you really don't respect, and find out who you are. So it's really important for you to find every particle of who you are and make that a reality. Do you know how many golden, beautiful, bronze, and all different shades goddesses that live on this planet, but they don't feel that is active in their life and in their vibration because they don't fit the social standard of beauty, because they're curvier or bigger, or they're too light or dark, or their hair is a certain texture? You don't have to be a god or a goddess physically by social standards to have that power, to exude that power. If you know anything about the human body, we conduct electricity. Everything that is real, even in this universe outside of our body, vibrates. And if it vibrates, it's moving. If it's moving, it's alive. And if you know anything, if oneself is conscious of oneself, that is when oneself steps into power. So it's really important for you to dig deep down in yourself and find all the beautiful things, all the contrasts, all the things that aren't so beautiful, and actually deal with them. Take the time to be honest to yourself so that you can elevate.
Yes.
And when you do that, your whole life will switch into exactly what it's supposed to be. You'll be on your life path. It's really important to educate yourself.
100%. And if I may say, Queen, really quick, that's one thing, again, that my Queen has taught me. She has taught me so much, but I've had to deal with my emotions. Something for me that was hard for me was just bottling emotions. If I felt upset, I just bottled, and I showed the outside world that I was happy. If I was pissed, I just showed happy. I was always trying to be happy as my median, when actually that wasn't true. Take time to feel out every emotion. If you're sad, be sad. If you're happy, be happy. If you want to laugh, laugh. But really take time to feel out every emotion, because it has it has a meaning. You're feeling that way for something, and you need to truly feel everything. And that's something my Queen has taught me. So when I'm upset now, I make sure that I feel the full extent of me being upset, because it's beneficial to you. And that's something that was very hard for me. And along your guys' journey, you will find things that are hard for you. And but you know, that's why they say, especially when you're growing, you have growing pains. And that's the case even with, you know, on an emotional and a spiritual level, you'll have growing pains. For me, like I said, the emotional stuff, dealing with my emotions was hard for me. It was painful, but out of those growing pains, I grew. So really, you expand and you blossom. Exactly. I became everything that I am now, and I'm going to continue to be, because I'm still a work in progress. I am nowhere near the end God that I can be.
Definitely. Most people do not understand that your emotions are your power. Literally, quite literally are your power. Most people say when you are emotional, if you're filled with anger or sadness, or you're a very delicate person or sensitive person, that you're weak. Most of the people that are very sensitive are very powerful. But you need to learn how to control your emotions, not to withhold them, but how to control them. That is your power. That is where you're conducting most of your energy. So if you have a lot of emotions and mixed emotions, really try to sit with yourself, meditate, whatever you find, read a book, or, sit in silence or work out, and really find out what's really going on with yourself. Because sometimes we don't have to think. Our feelings tell us everything. It's just like, if you're an intuitive person or not, sometimes you meet people and you get the worst feelings about them. And people get mad because it's like, why don't you like me? Why don't you like me? I don't have to like you. I feel that me and you aren't compatible. So use your intuition. Your intuition is your God box. It is your power. It is your source of light, energy, water, food, abundance, happiness. It is that. It is very, very powerful. It's very important for you to invest within yourself and to understand your emotions. Once you understand your emotions, oh my God, you're like, oh my God. What's the guy? What's some martial arts guy?
Bruce Lee.
You're like, once you understand your emotions, you're like Bruce Lee. You cannot be touched. You cannot be touched. And one last thing I would love to talk about before we go is the confidence factor. So if you walk up to someone and you say, I'm perfect, they're going to think you're arrogant, or they're going to think you're ultra confident or whatever. Most people do not know how to differentiate arrogance for confidence. It is important for you to love yourself, and it's important for you to be into yourself. It's important for you to be all about yourself. I don't think that one person should think they're better than everybody else, because everyone is an array of colors of beauty, and no one can touch anyone.
Copper, gold,
silver, we are all beautiful and abundant. And so that is the factor that I think people need to understand, that are on that arrogant side and don't understand that they are not the one and only. They're not the Messiah. You know what I mean? But it's really important for you to continue to have your confidence. If people don't relate to you being very sound within yourself, it's fine. They don't have to relate. You don't have to argue with anyone. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. The only person that you continually need to nourish, nurture, and prove yourself to is yourself. And at the end of the day, once you get really good at it, you won't even have to do that. You will be sound. You'll be elevated. You'll be binaural.
100%. And that's when you run into people again. really take a step back and look at who you're hanging out with, because if they can't appreciate all the self-love that you're giving you, if they take like, oh, you're being arrogant, you're being cocky, you're this, you're that, when you're truly coming from a place of self-love, then maybe that's somebody you need to separate in order to elevate, just like I was saying, because somebody who is really your friend, somebody who's really clicking with you, vibrating with you, sharing the same frequencies as you, is going to understand that you're not being cocky, you're not being arrogant. You're recognizing the royalty, the perfection, and the God and the goddess that is within you.
Yes.
And that by you recognizing that within you, you'll be able to recognize that within them, and you guys will be able to click, grow, build, and do everything else together.
Yes. 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 And I would like to say, I have been through my life, I have went through ups and downs, but I always was paying attention to what was really going on with inside me. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here where I'm at. And I have an amazing king. I have my soulmate. Something that people search for their entire lives, lifetimes and lifetimes over. Is because I reflected and I always continue to strive to be the best of myself. I may not be other people's standard of what they want to be, and that's fine. I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be Genesee, and Genesee is beautiful. Genesee is perfect. Alexandra is beautiful. Alexandra is perfect, and we would love for everyone to know that you are beautiful. You are perfect. As long as you keep that conscious chord in your head to always continue to be honest to yourself, love yourself, and respect who you are and who you are blossoming into be, you are perfect.
Yes.
You are perfect.
Yes. Recognizing that you are on a journey, recognizing that you are royalty, recognizing that you are perfect, and you will realize that in fact you are perfect.
Yes.
You are royalty.
Yes.
Speak what you will into existence, family.
Yes.
You are perfect.
Yes, and once you realize you are perfect, we will start realizing it in other people. Yeah. We will start talking to each other in our highest self, because that's what we will be.
Yes. Well said.
Yes. I love you. So again, I'm Genesee.
I'm Alexander.
And we are Black Soil. Stay tuned. We love you.
Yes. You are perfect, family.
Yes.
We are perfect.
Bye.